Welcome to Bible Basics Crafts. Today we're talking about David and how he was willing to fight Goliath because he trusted God. So we're going to make his little shepherd's slingshot, which is not for you to be using to hit brothers and sisters or any living creatures. You might set up a target. And we're going to have a pebble to put inside, and we're going to paint our pebble. So this should remind you about David facing the giant Goliath. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get started. We have a lot of things in the craft bag today. The first thing I'm going to pull out is some activity sheets to show you this, because this sort of needs a little bit of explanation. And it also, you will find in one of your bags, a little brad. We have a decoder that you can use to solve this coded mystery, okay? So underneath all the lines are numbers, and you need to find the corresponding letter that matches the number. And to do that, you're going to use your decoder wheel, which you'll cut out, and then you'll have this, which you'll cut out. You will end up putting this on top of that and securing them by poking a little brad through the two pieces of paper and then opening up the brad. I'll show you what the finished product looks like. It will look like this, and then as you find a number, say number 4, you spin this around until you find in the dark green the number 4, and it corresponds to the letter L. So you'd put a letter L above all of the 4s in this secret coded puzzle. And if you enjoy it, you can even take your decoder wheel and make up your own puzzles to challenge other people. Hope you enjoy that. Now let's get to the craft stuff. And there is more in the bag. Let's see what we've got. Dump it on out, Miss Leigh. What's in here today? All right. We've got 2 paint pens. I've given you 2 light colored paint pens. Hold on to them because you may be using them again next week. Put those over there. This is an instruction sheet. So if you get a little confused, this can help you. Put that off to the side. Here is a stone. It's a nice smooth stone, much like what David might have used. What we're going to use it for is to write on and decorate. Cool. There are 2 pieces of leather or fake leather rope or cord, and then there's 2 patterns here for you to cut out. Why don't we start with decorating our rock? Give me a second and we'll get right to it. All right, these are paint pens and they're new. So it's going to require you to do 2 things. Shake them up to mix the paint up that's in the barrel. And then you're going to notice the tip is nice and white. There is no paint on that tip yet. The way we get the paint to flow, you may remember this from a previous time, is to pump gently that felt pin up and down, and slowly you'll see the paint move into the, there we go. So now I have paint flowing through this one. What I'm asking you to write on your stone, and you can decorate it however you want, but there are 2 words that I would like for you to include on your stone. They are trust God. And I've got them written right here on the paper for you. So let's see. I want trust God, because this is what David did. Unlike Goliath, who trusted himself. And then you can put little squiggles and marks or dots, whatever you prefer. Make it your own. Make it something you'll enjoy looking at. Let me get the white pen working. I'm going to put a few dots of white on there. There it comes. Let's see. But anyway, I want you to have a pretty rock that 3 years from now, when you find this rock in the corner of your room somewhere, you're going to look at it and go, look at that, it says trust God. I remember that's from the David story. All right, I'm starting to cut out these two designs that are actually on a piece of fake leather, because David would have used a leather shepherd's pouch for his slingshot. These look very different from what we think of probably as slingshots today, or what you probably think of, with a stick that's Y-shaped with a rubber band running between the two ends of the Y. This was a pouch that was swung around the shepherd's head, and then one of the strings was released, and it launched a stone at a predator who might be coming to attack sheep. So let's cut out these two pieces of leather, and then we're going to be putting them together with our cord and making our pouch. So check back with me in just a minute and I'll be through cutting these out. So I've cut out both pieces of leather. There's one, I've already punched your holes for you. There are 6 little holes. But the one thing I didn't do, because I wanted you to figure out how to do this, or at least see how to do it, is you need to cut a little slit here. And a handy way to do that is just fold the fabric over and snip it. And that way you end up with a little opening there. I'm going to widen that just a touch now that I've got a hole in it. And the instructions will show you how to do this. But essentially this is going to be a wristband. And you're going to fold this thicker end up, the one with the end with the 2 holes, and then poke it through that little slit you've just made. And this way, it's going to be a bracelet that should fit around your wrist, whether it's a big fat wrist like Miss Leigh's or a tiny wrist like yours. So there we go. And now we're going to attach the cord to those 2 holes there. We'll do that in 1 second. Okay, we're going to attach the cord to our wristband. Now, those of you who are in scouting may know how to tie knots better than Miss Leigh does. I'm doing it this way. I've folded my cord over a little bit there. But if you have a better way of tying a knot, please use your way. And then I've poked it through one side of my wristband, and I'm poking the folded fat cord through the other side of the wristband, hopefully. Let's see if it'll go through here. Miss Leigh, come on, you can do better than that. Oh, there it comes. And now what I'm going to do, I've got a little loop here, because it's still looped up there. I'm going to take my other end and pull it through there to make a sort of slip knot. Then I'm going to tighten it up and use that extra little bit to again tie a couple of knots so it'll be in very secure. The other end of the wrist rope is going to tie to our leather pouch. And the way you make your leather pouch work is fold it in half with the smooth leather looking side out. And you're going to feed it through both of these holes. All right, so I've managed to get my cord through one of the ends there. So it's gone through both of those holes. And now, using my fabulous knotting skills, I'm going to tie this up. There we go. So we have a wrist strap attached to one side of the pouch. Now on the other side of the pouch, we're going to take our other cord, and I have tied a little finger knot on that end of the cord. So I'm going to leave that at the end, and again, poke my cord through the 2 holes on this side of the pouch, and again, tie another knot. All right, so what I'm going to do is, whoa, let me untwist this. You put the rock in your little pouch, like that. I've already got the wrist strap around my wrist, and I'm going to take the finger loop and put around my finger. Now, this rock is really not intended for throwing. This could be very dangerous. But if you've got a lot of space outside and no creature or person is around and you want to just practice, you hold both parts of the string in one hand, and then using centrifugal force, spin that rock around in the pouch, and then you'll ultimately let go of the finger loop as you sling it. So that is how this type of shepherd's slingshot would work. But what I'm hoping you'll do is just hang it somewhere in your room and remember the wonderful David, the shepherd boy. Thanks, guys. We'll see you again next week.